Mesilas Yesharim continues, V'hineni roet tzorach la'adam. Shemedaktik, be very specific, v'shokel and weigh out drachav, how often? Dvar yom biyomo, every day. Whoa. Now, I just want to point out what's he doing here. This is important. I would say, like, until now, he's like laid out the midah in, I don't know if you call it intellectual way or like what it is, the essence of it, the basics of it, without getting into like practical advice. Here is what a person has to do. There are two ashkafas. There's b'shas ma'isa, v'shlo b'shas ma'isa. There's pishpush, there's mishmush. That's like divrei Torah on the topic, which is so essential and so necessary, and of course the basis of everything and what he starts with. And now the Rebbe gets specific. Okay, now let's take it l'maisa. So you see the godless of the Sefer, the Mesilas Yesharim 1, he's engaging us and sharing with us the Torah way, al pi shas, and how things fit together and what one has to do. And now he needs roet tzorach, and now I see, that's hineni, me, right? So to speak, when a person is like, I would say, Chazal, l'mashal, just as an example, they worked as when Chazal were making Zerah Shabbos and Kavachomers, things like that, they were explaining the Torah. But then there's takanas, which Chazal came and said, we have to do something. That's a different way the Chazal worked. Chazal did many, many things, but those two are the things that Chazal did. So too, the Mesilas Yesharim is one is like bring down the Torah concepts. Here's Zehiras, here's Rizas, here's Chovas Adam Belamo, here's Torah, here's what you got to do. Okay, good. Now, got that? Good. Now, okay, let's get practical, and let me share you my insight about how this, when the rubber hits the road, pedal hits the metal, like what do we do? V'nei roa, so it says, because that's not, I don't think that's before in Shas, I believe, from what he's saying. V'nei roa, so now I say, this is my advice to you, the Mesilas Yesharim. You got to be involved in this day to day. So again, Rabosai, someone's going to do it day to day, Mato Manayim, right? If we would do it once a week, also great. Once a month, also great. Rosh Chodesh, etc. Right? But definitely, there were people. I think my Rebbe's father, Rabbi Yitzchak Blachman, Zichron Lavracha, used to engage in the Cheshbon Nefesh every day. For some of us, it might not always be practical, but halavai we would. It'd take 5 minutes. It'd be incredible. We'll see. So, but a person is medaktik v'shokal. Like, what do I do today? How do I speak to my coworkers? How do I speak to my employees? How do I speak to my employer? Did I say lashon hara? Did I spend my time well? Was I engaged in meaningful pursuits the whole time? Or did I took a break, okay, but I take a lot more of a break. Did my break turn into a much bigger break than it was supposed to be? Etc., right? How was I? There's so many areas for us to think about. How's my davening? How's my chesed? How's my technology, right? There's only things for me to think about. How's my ben chaver? How's my tone with others? Was I friendly? Was I kind? Was I compassionate? Did I go b'derech Hashem? Lo chaser, what to think about. They wrote tzorach l'adam sheyemedaktik v'shokal dracha. Was I lazy? Was I confident? Was I putting myself forward? Did I move forward in areas? Did I avoid confrontation? They wrote tzorach l'adam sheyemedaktik v'shokal dracha dvar yom b'yom, every day. K'sochrim ha'gedolim, like the big businessmen, asher yifalsu tamid kol eskeim l'man lo yiskalku, they're always judging, right? You see there's someone who has investments, right? You leave an investment too long. I'll just wait till tomorrow. You were bezrizas. The next day, Bitcoin went down. You're in big trouble, right? Tesla's here. Right? The video's there. No, you gotta be on top of it. I saw someone said recently, this is terrible. He said, like, I'm checking my stock, 25 times a day. I don't think that's a good thing to do. That's certainly not the Ratzon Hashem, but that's what this guy did, right? So I'm just giving an example. We're not talking about what's right or what's wrong on the business level. We're just learning from them. But that's it. But here, the Sochrim Agdolim, the big Sochrim, how's my real estate doing? Should I sell over here? Should I hold or go? Right? Asher yifalsu tamid kol eskeim l'man lo yiskalka. There should be miskalka. If I leave it, I'm going to kilkulim, big kilkulim. No, I didn't flip that house fast enough, and now the laws changed, and who knows what. V'yikva itim v'shos lezeh. And they said for themselves, itim, like tekufas, or shows, hours and times. I think the idea here, we can't be medayik the two words. There's so much of medayik in Mesilas Yesharim. By the way, I often don't engage in these things. I don't necessarily know clearly what the diak is. It's not that I don't notice the diak. I just want to say that. You might be wondering, how come he doesn't do that more? Like we mentioned, dracha, masa. I don't always know what they mean. So it's like guesswork. So I don't like engaging in guesswork. And I think there's plenty to talk about which is not a guess. But here I do have a good sense what itim v'shalos is. Shalos means time, right? Spend half an hour, spend an hour, review, spend those 15 minutes a day, spend those 15 minutes Erev Shabbos, Motzi Shabbos, Erev Rosh Chodesh, right? Spend that set time. Itim, I think, means like a period. Like I have a period of review. That's how we learn what itim means. So a person, they said, now we're doing a review. It's the business, it's the company's review, right? And also spending hours. There's brass tacks hours and brass tacks, times of review. Shlo yemishkalo arai, that the mishkal, that the weighing out won't be arai, won't be happenstance. Ela b'kfiyas gadol. Now these last 4 words are so important. So says the Mesilas Yesharim first to us, we have to take a lesson from business people who are looking at their business, evaluating their investments, evaluating their different businesses with a sharp eye. I would give another mashal. To me is meaningful, more meaningful than a businessman, which is like sports people, right? I like to think of tennis players also, specifically. Those understand tennis. It's not really a team sport. There is doubles tennis, but besides that, but usually, right, there's the Davis Cup, whatever. But generally, tennis is a very, very individual sport. And the tennis player means if you're bad, you're bad. It's not like you can be good in another sport and your teammates can take you through. The offense is very weak in a game, but the defense plays strongly. So then tell it here, if you're down, right? And there are many, many aspects to a game. There's a defensive game, there's an offensive game, there's all types of shots, there's a forehand, there's a backhand, boom, boom. There's playing at the net, there's drop shots, there's slices, there's first serves, second serves, there's an incredible amount. So these people, I always say this, it could be I'm giving this mashal Mesilas Yesharim explain, but they spend a lot of time considering their game, a lot of time, and they pay enormous, I'm talking about the big boys, enormous amounts of money to coaches and teams. These people, they have a whole team of people who are evaluating their game, and they're not making them feel good. They're not saying, you're the greatest ever. That's not what they're saying to them. They're saying, if you don't improve that backhand, you're not going to win. That's what they're saying to them. And your mental game, you're mentally off. And at this point in the game, during the second set, you start to falter a little bit. We have to fix that up. And why is your forehand not as strong? Why are you not putting enough top spin on it? And that's what's going on. B'kfiyas gadol, it's mamish kfiyas gadol, right? Now, here are the 4 words, friends. So whether we're learning from business, whether we're learning from sports, the evaluation is an intense evaluation, right? Why? Because it's a frum thing to do, right? I'm an Orthodox Jew, I got to be Orthodox, right? Shomer Shabbos, kovei itim l'Torah, megala banu l'talmud Torah, and I do a cheshbon hash. No, it's not because it's a frum thing to do. Ki rav hatoladahu. Very important, because it pays off. That's a rav hatolada, that what comes out tolada, like toldot, generations. Tolda means the products of it. The products of it are very great. Obviously, you have to care about ruchnias. You don't care about ruchnias, so who cares, right? But in the religious context, in that it's rav hatolada, it has a tremendous, tremendous effect. It's going to get you somewhere. Doing cheshbon and nefesh is going to get you somewhere. And I want to add one final point about this. I think that's just clear, right? Because when I'm start speaking in a way I want to speak and stop speaking in a way I don't want to speak, and realize the reason I'm not having as many friends as I would like to have is because of the vibe I'm giving off, or I'm walking around in a pompous way and people don't like me because of that, or I'm socially inept and not being careful in 100 other things. So it's Rava Tolada. And I think, just to add one practical point from my side, is you have to take joy in that. When a person will do a cheshbon nefesh and improve something, and watch himself and herself and say that, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like, why am I doing that? Like, no, done. I'm not doing that anymore. You should take tremendous joy in that, because a big yisod, yesh lo man rotzeh masayim, when you have, you want more. So when you take the joy, and you see, right, cheshbon nefesh, there's a lot of reason. There's a reason that we're talking about it, and the reason we don't engage with it the way we do. I certainly don't do it as much as I'd like to. So we have to work against that. How are we going to get ourselves to do it more? The more joy we take in it, the more we'll want to do it. And the way for us to get joy in it is by seeing Rabba Tolado, seeing the effects. I'm not doing it because the Mesilas Yesharim told me to do it. The Mesilas Yesharim told me to do it because it makes a big difference. And when I feel in my life the difference it makes, I'm going to engage in it much more. Bezrat Hashem.